Hey, geez, it's game time. Hey, James, it's game time. Thank you, Michael. So welcome to Oakland Rotary #3, the third oldest Rotary club in the world. I'm Joe Peralta, president, retired CPA, CFO at East Bay Restaurant Supply, and you can call me Coach Joe. Around the world, there are more than 45,000 Rotary clubs with 1.2 million Rotarians. Still hear you guys out there? Can you hear me? With 1.2 million Rotarians in over 200 countries. In just about any city you can imagine, there is a Rotary club. Oakland Rotary has both local and global impact. We gather today, this afternoon, as business and community leaders to make a difference here in Oakland and around the world, to support each other and to support each other's businesses, and for some fellowship and fun. And gosh, you guys are having a lot of fellowship and fun out there right now. You might wonder why we're meeting here. Our lease at the ballroom had a stipulation that if they were able to rent the ballroom for 3 days in a row, a Thursday, Friday, Saturday event, they had the option to let us use one of their other locations. So that's why we're here. And I'm glad you all found us, either in person or online. Looks like we have a pretty good crowd. Don't know if we need to try to figure out how to get some more chairs. Jesse's working on that. But anyhow, I'd like to start by introducing visiting Rotarians. I know we have 2 visiting Rotarians. If we could get them a mic, I'll make yours. Don't worry. Sit. There we go. Janine Finger, I live here in Oakland from the Alameda, Washington, D.C. Club. I was part of the gateway Rotary up there, and it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon to be part of Rotary here in Oakland. My new hometown. Thank you. I'm going to thank you, Crawford. I can bless. Okay. What's the plate off? Hello there, my name is Manfredo Gonzalez. I'm a visiting Rotarian from Caracas, Venezuela. I'm a refugee right now because I have to flee my country because I was in danger of being imprisoned by the current regime. I'm visiting friends, I have relatives here, I have some business in Dallas, and I'll be here until tomorrow. Thank you for welcoming me in this very prestigious Rotary Club. Any other Rotarians? That's me. This works. I'm sorry to bore you with my presence that you all be comments on John Gross, please for public trucking. As president and past chair of our Liberty Foundation, John Dressley. Welcome. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your name. Say it again. From Venezuela. I'm Fredo Gonzalez. Fredo Gonzalez. Welcome. We're pleased to have you with us. Please stay safe. We look forward to you joining. Love to welcome you.
Have a guest. Have a guest.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
He hasn't done that.
So if we have any Rotarians with guests, if the Rotarians should state their name, their business title, and then introduce their guests. Oh, and Shannon's got a very special gift. Thank you, Shannon.
Your haircut. I have a very, very special guest. I'm Shannon Hadley, and one of our communities is named the
Carl Stuckey.
Carl Stuckey World Community Service Committee. And I am so honored to be friends and so grateful to have you here. Jan Stuckey is Carl's daughter. I want to welcome from Salt Lake City. Let's call off the new thing, and I would like to ring the bell for Jan and for your dad, and we think about him all the time, and we say his name every week. So it's a blessing to have you.
Shannon Hatley rings the bell for Carl Stuckey. So does Watts. Wise Allen rings the bell for Carl Stuckey. That's so Bruce Struck rings the bell for Carl Stuckey. Stanley Chin rings the bell for Carl Stuckey. So Gary Flaxman rings the bell. As or no, and Jello. Hey, Darton rings the bell. What's the bell ring?
It's Alex.
Look up and rings the bell. Thank you.
Alex.
Alex Polson rings the bell. Where's Alex? So I have two things to do. One, I forgot to ring the bell to start the meeting. And ringing the bell is a generous $100. Oh, hold on, everybody. Ring the bell.
Did you ring it 3 times means you're gonna?
Nice try to ringing the bell is a generous $100 donation to our Oakland Rotary Endowment, which funds our community service projects and allows us to make them difference here in Oakland. So thank you for ringing the bell.
Can you ask the people who rang the bell to raise their hand so I can get their names out?
If you rang the bell, could you raise your hand and Jesse Smith, who's more fit than I am, will make sure he comes around and gets your money.
Okay, come back down. Do you have more guests? Ask.
Do we have any other guests? Pat Rayburn's got a guest over there.
I'll be
There,
coming back.
Hi, Gary Flaxman. Thank you, President Joe. I have 2 guests today. One is Paul Garrison, a lawyer, actually ran for District 2 way back when. And my other guest is actually Gary over here. It's Rosemary Darden, who's actually not a guest. She's a member, and her sponsor was Carl Stuckey.
Hi, I'm Pat Rayburn, Retail Technology Manufacturing, and my guest is online, so you won't see her. She was here with me a couple of weeks ago. Louise Anderson, who's a retired librarian, as an and is a commissioner on the Alameda County Juvenile Justice and Lincoln Prevention Commission, and I invited her here today to listen to our guest.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Patricia Wells with the Oakland Housing Authority, and I'm pleased to be here with 2 guests. Our Chief of Police for the Oakland Housing Authority Police Department, Chief Peter Dupree. And our Director of Conduct Compliance and Central Services, Mr. Josh Rowland. This is his 2nd visit. So.
Welcome.
And I'd like to say this opportunity, Coach, to ring the bell for our illustrious guest, DA, Ursula.
Ring the bell for the first name, Dickson. And you know what?
Hold on, Joe. Don't get excited.
I'm gonna go ahead and ring the bell while well, go ahead.
Good afternoon. Michael Houston, the city auditor of the city of Oakland. Glad to be back and glad to be able to bring special guests. Sir Bon Malouk is our Inspector General of the city of Oakland, so provides oversight and monitors our Oakland Police Department.
Thank you. Mike. That's what you have not in the ring. So I'd like to ring the bell as well, both for Ursula Jones Dickson, Ursula Jones Dickson and Kira Pasco. Both of these have something, members have something in common. They both became new members last week and are instrumental in our program today. Do we have any other guests to introduce? If not, I'm going to ask Kira Pasco to come up. Kira is the Director of Development with the Oakland Parks and Recs Foundation. And Kira is going to give us our thought for day as one of our newest members.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I want to share one of my favorite quotes with you from Celeste Sedley. She is the author of We Need to Talk. Every conversation is a chance to connect and make a difference. Today, we use our voices to encourage, support, and leave a positive mark, no matter how big or how small.
Thank you, Bill. So glad you joined the club. So we have a new location today. We're also going to switch up the script. They're trying to kill me here, I think. But in any event, we are going to change the order of our agenda. So now I'd like to bring up Tricia Connors, who is a retired attorney and a director, I hope I have this right, of the Life Living Fund. Rush Life Slides for You. Tricia, welcome back from Portugal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigado, President Joe. I just returned from 3 weeks in Portugal and it was amazing. Anyway, it is my honor to introduce District Attorney Ursula Jones Dickson. She is a dedicated and visionary leader committed to bringing justice with integrity, fairness, and transparency. With over 2 decades of legal experience, including her service as an Alameda County Superior Court judge and former deputy district attorney, DA Jones Dickson brings a deep understanding of both the law and the communities it serves. Her appointment as district attorney marks a return to principled prosecution rooted in accountability, public safety, and victim advocacy. Since taking office, DA Jones Dickson has worked tirelessly to rebuild trust, enhance community engagement, and ensure that justice is applied equitably across Alameda County. Guided by compassion and driven by excellence, she is focused on smart reforms, strong partnerships with law enforcement, and a clear commitment to keeping our neighborhoods safe while uplifting those most impacted by the justice system. So again, let's hear it for our new Rotary member and district attorney.
Thank you all. If I haven't had an opportunity to say hello earlier, my back's out. So if I'm moving slow or you see me pause or grimace, it's not because I don't like people. So first and foremost, thank you, Tricia. She's a great advocate for me. And hello, Louise online, because I know Louise very well. I am Ursula Jones Dickson, Alameda County District Attorney. And today I just want to talk to you a little bit about our office and community safety. I also want you to have an opportunity to ask me questions. So you'll see Austin waving at me in the back, telling me it's time to shut up when it's time for you guys to ask questions. So I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Sorry. All right. So we'll start with the DA's mission, and that's just kind of where we want to see ourselves. Our mission is to ethically prosecute those big crimes, uphold the rights of victims, and provide them with compassionate support, as well as protect the communities that we serve. We also aim to collaborate with justice and community partners and foster policies that prioritize public safety and restore public trust. We like to reinforce innovative programs that provide opportunities for rehabilitation and reintegration and to enhance the lives of the residents of Alameda County. So that's my wish list, right? But the DA also has a mandate pursuant to statute and otherwise. The district attorney's office represents the people of the state of California. I say that with pride. And it's one of the things that brought me back to this job. It's one of the things that when I was a DA, you stand up in front of folks and you say, Ursula Jones Dickson for the people. That's what that means. We represent the people of the state of California ethically, professionally, and with integrity in criminal, civil, and juvenile matters. The DA's office will always pursue the truth, demonstrate commitment to fair and equitable justice for all, and ensure that victims of crime are treated with respect, dignity, and empathy. Now, I just wanted to familiarize you all with our divisions in our office. We have Renee C. Davidson, which is the courthouse down by the lake, that beautiful building. The Consumer Environmental and Worker Protection Unit, that is out by Hegenberger. And so that houses our consumer division, environmental crimes are prosecuted out of there, as well as insurance fraud, auto fraud, things of those natures. We also have our East County Hall of Justice, or what we call Echo J. That is out by Santa Rita Jail. And so that's Southeast County's office. Juvenile Justice Center is in San Leandro off of 150th Avenue. Fremont Hall of Justice is in Fremont, small courthouse, but we still have a presence there. We have our Victim Witness Assistance Division. Those individuals help anybody who's been a victim of crime. They facilitate providing information to them, helping them move through the process as they are dealing with prosecution of the person who harmed them. And then we have our Family Justice, which is on 27th Street between Broadway and Telegraph. That was really, it was created to help domestic violence victims. It is a building where you can walk in and you can get all of the services you need if you've been the victim technically of a violent crime, but specifically domestic violence. You're able to seek a restraining order there. You're able to get counseling there. You're able to be provided with information about victim witness assistance programs. And then Wiley Manual Courthouse is the courthouse that is right next to the Oakland Police Department, down toward, going toward Jack London Square. Now, the goal of our office is to center everything around survivors or victims. They should be at the center of everything that we do. And so within the first 180 days in our office, these are the things that we have sought to do. Specifically, we expanded survivor services. We assisted 4,600 plus new victims, ensuring that survivors of crime had immediate access to counseling, advocacy, as well as safety resources. We strengthened our community stakeholder engagement, so survivor voices were elevated through that proactive outreach, including expanding programming during our National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And we secured critical resources. So as you know, grants were disappearing and dissipating from the federal level, and then also the state, because the state is having financial issues. So we were proactive in making sure that we would put in place resources so that we could continue to fight for victims of crime. In addition to that, we advanced gun violence prevention, and we're now a part of AB 1344. That's a gun violence restraining order pilot program. It gives prosecutors and law enforcement a powerful new tool to intervene before tragedies occur, so we can actively seek a restraining order, for example, regarding someone who has a gun we have concerns about. We're also building a stronger DA's office in the first 180 days. We restored prosecutorial capacity. Let me talk about that a little bit. The prior administration required that every charging DA make an ask to add enhancement to cases. So an enhancement would be like a gun enhancement or a sex enhancement, like maybe a child that was under a certain age or certain level of violence in a crime that adds time to a conviction. We removed that as it was before. We put people in charging positions that we trust to do that work. They have prosecutorial discretion. As a result of that, we've asked them to make a decision based upon the facts as to whether or not those enhancements have been charged. That's important because when I walked into the office, there was a huge backlog of cases to be charged. Some of those charges that could have been charged, statute of limitation ran. So people did not get an opportunity to have their case heard or their day in court. This allows us to actively charge cases the way they should be charged in a timely manner so that victims get the services that they deserve. We deepened our community engagement, so we convened safety conversations with businesses, survivors, and faith leaders across Alameda County to hear directly from them. That was a big piece of what I wanted to do when I walked into the space, because this is a job that is really not a political job. It's an elected position. Our goal is to represent the people of the state of California. Therefore, you need to listen to the people. And that is how we started this journey, having these conversations with people across the county to further understand what their feelings were, because feelings are real, about what had been happening, what their feelings were about public safety, about crime, about the DA's office, so that we could at least try to function in a way that we were responding to the feelings of the community. We strengthened our infrastructure and filled the critical leadership positions to stabilize operations. We launched dormant brand and consumer protection initiatives and began to top to bottom fiscal review. The fiscal review is of import because I walked right into this space in the middle of budget season, which is always a disaster. Never a good thing to walk into a job in the middle of budget season, because you don't know what you're walking into. And then once you find out, you got to figure out how to fix it. And so that took up a lot of our time within the first 3 months that I was there, just trying to figure out how to get out of the hole, how to balance our budget. And there were some significant budget issues. We also launched our organized retail theft task force, and that is a vertical prosecution. Vertical prosecution means that the case is charged and one DA is handling those cases from beginning to end. And I think that that's really important, specifically based upon Prop 36 being passed of recent. You know, a lot of the businesses and a lot of the conversations I've had with city government, specifically here in Oakland, and businesses is around, we can't survive because we are being robbed. Some of the 7-Elevens are telling me 4 times a day, not a week, a day. So, you know, we are trying to effectively address the issues that businesses are having. The piece that we have, like what we have to do, the DA's office is a reactive agency. So the police bring a report to us and then we decide whether or not we can prove that case beyond a reasonable doubt. And if we can, what we do with that case. Is this something that is a diversion case? Is it something we go forward on to potentially try? Does it resolve? All of those things. So when I'm hearing from business owners that they're being robbed daily more than one time, then we need to spring into action. We've also reaffirmed commitment to fair and equitable justice. So we focused on consistent, community-informed decision-making rooted in public trust, service, and legal integrity. I think that too is important because you should know that my command staff is mostly women, which is really cool, by the way, and mostly women of color. Now, I say that because our experiences are varied. And I think it's important for us to see the world through different lenses. Now, if I look at the criminal justice system, oftentimes a lot of those folks look like me. So why shouldn't I be the one having a conversation about my own community? That's why I became a DA. When I became a lawyer, there was a lot of pushback from the people I grew up with in Southern California as to why I was not a defense attorney. And I'm like, but the victims look like me too. So I come to this space, victim-centered. That won't change. Nobody can convince me different. So I just want to say that too. I'm getting a 5-minute mark. Is that true? That's not, okay. Okay, moving fast. Okay, what's ahead? Fair charging, safer communities. As we continue to serve the people here, our focus is on delivering justice through decisive, fair, and effective prosecution. So here are our priorities. Continuing to launch our hate crimes unit. The hate crimes unit really is about education. Like, we're educating law enforcement and the community about what a hate crime is, what a hate incident is. We're pushing really hard to do that. We're also restoring our human trafficking, wage theft, and labor exploitation efforts. All of those have kind of languished. The human trafficking piece has been something that Alameda County DA's office has been on the front lines for many years, working very hard. We're having some struggles in that area because of legislation that was removed so that officers couldn't even contact individuals, even minors who were being trafficked. But the governor has signed legislation that allows us to get back to that work. In addition to that, we're improving and expanding victim witness services, hiring young, energetic people with degrees in the area who want to help victims, and strengthening faith and nonprofit partnerships. So I've been meeting a lot with faith leaders in the community because I do believe that fighting crime in your city and your county is not just the DA's office or the police. It takes the entire community to do that, and the faith community has had a huge part in that in the past. And I think we forget how powerful the church is in our community, so we're working to strengthen those as well. We have been referring or receiving referrals from the police. That just means police reports that are brought to the DA's office at a much higher rate than they have been in quite some time. And I'll specifically have you look at that lower number under the 2025 referrals from February 18th to August 18th. The number of police reports being brought to us has gone up. I have some ideas as to why that is the case. My assumption is because so many cases sat and there was such a huge backlog that the officers got really down about bringing cases to us and nothing was happening. And so now we see them bringing those cases. We have the amount of chargers necessary to get through those cases so that we can provide some clarity to individuals about what's going to happen next with the case. The referral outcomes in 2022, you see that for our total misdemeanors, we had 80,242. Now that number is much higher than the other years before. And in addition to that, for felonies, our numbers are a little higher as well. But I'd also have you take a look at the number of police reports given as alternative action, like diverting away from the system, or police reports not charged, because not everything we receive, we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So just because it's brought to us does not mean that we can charge it and pursue it for prosecution. New victims receiving services, I'd also have you take a look because I'm on a rush, sorry, at our 2025 numbers. We are serving victims at a much higher rate. We are trying to get in that 6,000 range. We need people to know what services are out there. So we are contacting victims. We are engaging them. That has been my effort personally, as well as the office's effort to make sure that we are talking to victims pursuant to Marcy's Law. Marcy's Law is not only something you hear about in the news, but it is a part of the California Constitution, which requires that we provide certain constitutional rights to victims. We oftentimes hear about the defendant's rights. Nobody ever talks about the victim's rights. So I'm reminding everybody here that here in California, within the Constitution, victims have rights as well. And so we are making sure that our office is following those rules for victims. We're in a position now to start rebuilding community trust, and that's what the town halls and the safety forums ask us. If you want us to come out and talk to any one of your communities, let us know. We can do them. We do listening sessions. Happy to do that with you as well. And we continue the conversations with local leaders about the things that we think need tweaking. We're asking, think tanking, how we can do this better. I'm still reeling from yesterday's news that we lost our police chief here in Oakland because he was a huge partner in this work. And it doesn't stop the work, but it does give me some pause because I need Oakland to find some level of stability with law enforcement as well. We need to build those relationships. Hey, we got this guy. He's new. I got 2 minutes. I'm moving. All right. There's some contact information here. I'll send this to you. I don't need to go over this, but if you need to contact one of our offices, there's information for you. And I want to leave time for questions. Before I do that, I also just wanted to say that our theft-related property crimes and charging have gone from 2022 to 773 and now at 1404. So we're trying to put a little pressure on folks who are taking, putting our businesses out of business. And so we're doing that as well. Any questions for me? Yes.
Ed Braille for Chapel, the China Speaker.
Sounds good. My mouth is a beat of bite. Like apply your office for victims of violent crime. Weekly, we use your services. For those of you who don't know, any victims of violent crime are given the opportunity of $12,800 for funeral expenses. So it's an unbelievable program. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, sir. We read this. Yes.
Michael.
Oh,
Michael Malone or Ursula. I want to thank you for being with us today and sharing the DA's role in supporting criminal justice. And more than that, I want to thank you for making the effort to join Oakland Rotary. Oakland Rotary wants to make a difference here in Oakland. And I can't think of a better way for us to make a difference than partnering with our dedicated government officials. And having you as a member of the club allows that to happen. So now, Michael.
This is a somewhat specific question that I learned about a decade ago. I'm very fuzzy on the date from someone with the DA's office whose specialty was prosecuting sex trade crimes. At that time, I'm very fuzzy on the date, mind you. That years ago, Oakland, California, at that time, was the hub, the largest hub in California of the sex slave trade. It's a fact I've been unable to get out of my mind ever since I learned it. Is that still the case today? It was kind of shocking to find, my hometown is the largest hub in the state of California. That's a question. So is that still true today?
Yes, it is still true today. If you drive out to East 14 or 15, international is a disaster for young people. I just said that. I've worked many years dealing with human trafficking, what we used to call C-sex, commercially sexually exploited children. It hasn't gotten a lot better because the laws have gotten a lot less helpful to law enforcement. And that was one of the things I was just talking about. There was an easy, it was easy for officers to engage young people pursuant to 653.22, which is loitering for the purposes of prostitution. At least they could walk up to a young person and say, hey, do you need some help? The Blade, as they call it, where this is going on, is one of the more violent places in Oakland. There are so many shootings and murders in that space. So the pimps are unwilling to give up on what they consider their commerce, their business. And until we get more tools from a law enforcement perspective, it makes it difficult for us to move forward. We try a lot and resolve a lot of heat cases or pimping and pandering cases. One of my most difficult cases that will never leave me ever is a pimping and pandering case that I tried when I was a DA many years ago. That person got 29 to life, but is up for parole now. His parole hearing was on Monday, and I was on pins and needles because I know what he is capable of. And in fact, he was not paroled, but those cases to me are the worst of the worst because it's both child sexual assault as well as pimping and pandering, as well as the violence, as well as this programming of young people. And so the answer to your question is yes. And the secondary answer that you didn't really ask the question to was we need more law enforcement for that purposes and more tools for law enforcement.
Joe?
I think we have time for a couple more questions.
And if we keep it to members of Rotary first, that'll be ideal.
Jesse Schmidt?
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation. I know from our Rotary's contact with St. Vincent's that Oakland is home to a big portion of Alameda County's homeless population. And my question is about care courts and your thoughts on the potential for them to help us deal with the unhoused.
So a couple of things. There are care courts are one of the courts that we cannot refer to. It's the only court. Like there are cares first, jails last. That's different than care courts. I think care courts are great, but everybody, including I think police, family members, et cetera, can make a referral into care court. But we don't really have a place in that process. So do I know how helpful they are? I don't. Do I think it's a great resource? I do. I had lunch with Union City's mayor the other day, and he talked about certain things that he was doing for their homeless population and to try to curb some of the negative things around the homeless population. And I was fascinated by the fact that they've been able to do some really good work in that area, and we still struggle. So I think I'm all about mission, not goals. You'll hear me say that over and over again. I don't believe in goals. I said a mission, we get to the mission. Once we figure out hey, we need to do this around homelessness, then we can work toward that goal. And care court is one of the things that's helpful. So is a navigation center, which we have we'll have one and almost two of those now.
So one more quick question, Ken Richardson.
Hi, Mr. Dickson. Thanks for running, thanks for holding this very important office. I assume that many of the murders and the casualties are caused by guns. And that a lot of these guns are in cars. They move in cars. It occurred to me that we have checkpoints at the airport. When we want to find drunk drivers, we can have checkpoints on New Year's Eve. I'm curious, have you or any of your colleagues in California or elsewhere in the country considered using police checkpoints in order to remove guns that are trafficking in the city?
So a checkpoint doesn't give you the authority to search. That's different. So our constitutional rights allow us freedom from search that's inappropriate. You need a purpose, you need justification, sometimes you need a warrant. And so as a result of that, a checkpoint wouldn't help you with the guns. But I think that there are other things that we can do regarding gun violence in the community. And I think that we need to start having an open conversation about the fact that we don't do that well without more officers. Like even the thought of having a checkpoint for a police force that at any given time may have 14 people out on the streets of this large, varied city is problematic. So.
I'm sorry, that's the last time you're right. Go ahead.
Just briefly, so you all know, we have our 23rd annual Domestic Violence Day of Remembrance. That will be on October 24th. That's between 10:30 and 1, and it's at the County Administration Plaza in Oakland. Come out. I think they're on the table. Take a look at that. Feel free to support victims and victims' families. They need it. Okay, thank you.
But don't leave Ursula. I have a little something for you. Ursula has to run off. She has another commitment right after our meeting. But she is more than welcome to take any questions that you weren't able to get in. Just send it to her email address on the screen. Ursula, in recognition of your presentation today, we made a donation to end polio. So please know you're helping end polio. Over 3 decades, Rotary has been working to eradicate polio. We've reduced the reported cases 99.9%. Polio now only remains in 2 war-torn countries of Pakistan and Afghanistan. We will eradicate polio because we are this close. Thank you for your presentation. Here's a Rotary 4-way test coin. I hope you enjoy it, and we really appreciate your remarks. Looks like another really strong ballot. So now for one of the more fun things to do, most fun things to do in the Rotary, and that's to induct a new member in the Rotary. So now I'd like to bring up David Stein, who is of council with Donahue Fitzgerald. David, as a thank you for proposing a new member, sponsoring a member, I present you a 4-way test coin. And I would like you to introduce our newest Oakland Rotarian to Steve Facts.
President Joe, fellow Rotarians and guests, it's my honor to introduce Danny Wan, Cal grad. Come in. Danny has a lifetime of public service, starting as a public school teacher, being the first openly LGBTQ member of the Oakland City Council, and finally serving from 2019 to just earlier this year as the executive director of the Port of Oakland. 2 interesting facts. One, Danny is an old dad. And you may have seen his son Kai, 2-year-old, running around our picnic. And Danny's with his husband Oliver, have a 2-year-old, so he's going to stay young in that way. And the second interesting fact is Danny sings with the Asian Gay Men's Chorus. Please give a warm welcome to our new
Is there someone out there that can snap the photo of us? Danny, can you slide up there just a bit? David, thank you. Jesse? Dan, thank you.
Yeah, we had.
Legit.
No.
Thank you. Danny, we don't need to. Danny, I want to welcome you to Oakland Rotary. I want to present you your Rotary badge and your Rotary pin. This pin is recognized around the world. It comes with 250 new friends and 1.2 million worldwide. Danny, I know you're already a superstar. We're so thankful for you to join us. Danny, don't ever hesitate to say, hey, coach, put me in. Welcome to Oakland Rotary #3, the team. Thank you. So David, in recognition of your service above self efforts in leading our speakers committee to provide an exceptional and noteworthy speakers and providing guidance on the president's special committee and our relocation meeting task force, providing and also for providing awesome suggestions to keep the prestige of Oakland Rotary at the highest level, and for your commitment to sponsor new Rotarians. I present you a Rotary on the Run medal. Oh, Joe?
Hey, Joe, on behalf of Mr. Stein, I'd like to say something real quick.
CJ.
Thank you, Coach. I would like to ring the bell for former City Council member Danny Wan, without whose support Children's Fairyland's beautiful Aesop's Theater, which many of you have been to over the years, part of the Rotary's team, would never have been possible. Thank you, Danny Wan.
CJ rings the bell for getting ready. Gary?
I'd like to ring the bell for David Stein for giving us one great program at Dickson.
Gary rings the bell for David. Brian?
I'd like to ring the bell for Danny.
Brian rings the bell for David Stein.
I want to ring the bell for the speakers community and all the people in Rotary who send us suggestions. Because all I do is facilitate the meetings. It's a committee, look at the speakers, and you all were making suggestions. So I'll ring the bell for everything.
David rings the bell for everyone. I don't know how big that is. Anita? Oh, Rosemary rings the bell for David Stein. Anita?
The bell for David Stein, whose humility and commitment to service is totally awesome.
Anita rings the bell for David Stein. Gordon Walker rings the bell for David Stein, and I will tell you, if there's a guy who wants to get something done, David Stein is that guy. Danny?
Everyone else will not give you a bell for David Stein.
Danny Walker rings the bell for David Stein. I think we're there. I'd like to now call up Ruth Strupp. Ruth is a chef extraordinaire and founder of Chez Nous. And she's here, a catering company, and she's here to give us a little update on Rotary Foundation.
Great. Good to see so many Rotarians in this alternate location. We're doing things a little bit differently this year with the Rotary Foundation fundraising. In the Rotary calendar, it's November is the month that we raise money to do the global work. In our club, we're going to start it in Joe's honor with a kickoff party. So next week, we'd love to invite everyone to come at 11:30, raise a glass to our Rotary donors and partake the people who donated to the Rotary Foundation, and bring a story with you about why you give. I did not give significantly to the Rotary Foundation until Joe told me his story. And I think that a lot of times what we do in the Rotary and in the world, we forget, and if we share the story, it makes our experience of Rotary even richer. So join me in raising glass next Thursday at the ballroom at 11:30.
Thank you. Ruth is doing a fabulous job. I believe she has 15 new Paul Harris fellows to be coming forward in the coming year. And now I'd like to bring up our past president, club secretary Michael Brook, a retired attorney, former politician, and Oakland zoo docent. He's going to tell us about the process of how we pick officers and directors.
Thank you, President Joe. By the way, I'm wearing my brand new club secretary pin courtesy of that. Our club bylaws state that at least 12 eligible club members shall be nominated from the floor during the second Thursday meeting in October. That would be today. The nominating committee will choose a nominee for president-elect and 3 directors who will take office July 1st, 2026. The names of the members who are eligible to serve on this year's nominating committee were emailed to you and they're also on your tables. These are persons who have been members of the club for at least 4 years, who are not current officers or directors, and have not served on the committee twice in the last 4 years. I'm going to go open up the nominating process, and Joe, are you recording the names?
Looks like I am.
You need a job. Okay. Joe will assist me. Are we connected with Zoom? We're Zoom. Okay, those of you on Zoom, if you'd like to nominate somebody, please enter the name into chat and we'll monitor that as we go. Please keep in mind that members of the nominating committee are not eligible to serve as a director or as president-elect. Okay, let's go. Who wants to make a nomination? Tom Kellum. Sean Kellum.
Catherine Coleman.
Catherine Coleman. Correct.
Bob Barr.
Bob Barnes.
Will Hobbs.
All right, let Joe catch up here. Okay. Will Hobbs, Eric. Okay. All right.
Mark Rosen.
Mark Rosen. Alex.
Richardson.
Ken Richardson. Do we have any on Zoom yet? All right. You with us? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'd like to have about 12. Lita. Susan Smith. Allison.
I put some in comments.
Okay,
So
welcome.
Linda Boston.
David.
Wait.
Linda Hamilton.
I missed one. I think.
Linda Boston Ecker. All right, maybe 1 or 2 more. For me. Okay, none on Zoom yet?
Yeah.
Yep.
CJ, we do have
Deborah Barnes from a Zoom.
Carla Betts,
Carla Betts.
Allison Bliss,
Allison Bliss.
Deborah Barnes, I missed one.
Jesse
Carla Betts.
Eric Friedman.
All right, I'm gonna cut them off right now because we got.
Who's after Carla?
Allison.
This is John Mulkey. So he's expressed as well. That's pleasant.
All right, we'll verify the Zoom ones later, so we can move the program along. Thank you very much. The election for the nominating committee will take place on October 23rd. Thanks for participating in this important club process.
Thank you, Michael. And now I'd like to call up Ed Brett, funeral home manager with Chapel of the Chimes here in Oakland. He's going to invite you to our annual Halloween bash.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Joe came as the Pope last year, if I remember correctly. October 30th, which is a Thursday from 5 to 8 at Chapel of the Chimes Funeral Home. What better place to have a Halloween party? Free food, free drinks. It's always a great time. We have 3 prizes for the top 3 costumes that we'll all be voting on. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Ed. I'm wondering if the song "You Can Always Come But You Can Never Leave" is yeah.
Got to know it.
I want to welcome Gudrun. Gudrun, thank you for joining us. Past president. Now I'd like to call up our past president, Shannon Hackley, owner of Shannon Lay Designs, a wayfinding firm specializing in signage design for large campus institutions. And Shannon's going to tell us a little about what's happening in the district.
Hello, everybody, again. In the interest of time, next Thursday,
How many of you are coming with me to the Colombo Club? More than that, raise your hand, raise your hand. So this guy is our international president and he's Italiano. So it's not in his honor, we're having our event at the Colombo Club. So please come, tell Jesse if you want him to help register you, bring a friend. If you want your committee to have a table to promote or work, the whole district is gonna be there. They always go to San Jose and we never go to their events because it's so far away. They brought it to us. So we're all gonna be there and they promised that they're gonna come up and see us. So please join us at the Colombo Club next Thursday.
Thank you, Shannon. Want to be there to support Oakland Rotary, support Rotary in the district. There are already 27 members signed up. It's going to be a blast. So please join us. Now I'd like to bring up past President Tom Lamone, a commercial real estate broker and specializing in investment sales with Newborn. Tom?
Thank you, Coach Joe. Good afternoon, everyone. This past weekend, we had the opportunity to be in the public, in the community at Oktoberfest, which was supporting the Diamond Merchants Association. First, I would start out by thanking Pam Clausen, Jason Weiselman, Bob Muldoon, my wife Christy, Sam Davis, and Daniel Chang for volunteering on Saturday and changing out about 6 cakes that day. Joe Garalka on Sunday, Martha on Sunday, John Holmgren, Ali Medina, Cedric Titus, Karen Friedman, Angela Darby, Kathleen Uribe, and Allison Bliss. So thank you all for joining us today. So, our Rotary Club does a lot of great work locally, internationally, but also we could improve in this area and being visible in the community. So there are street festivals, there are parades, there's different things that our club could get involved with. And one of the great things you can get out of Rotary is leading. And so if there's something that you want to do in the community, if you think our club should be visible at, like, for example, the Black Joy Parade or the Chinatown Festival or the Laurel Fair, take the lead. Talk to Coach Joe, talk to one of the past leaders, me, Shannon, and let's get you involved and we'll help you lead and get volunteers. But it's really a great opportunity for our club members to be seen in the public. And also we ran into lots of Rotarians. We ran into people who receive scholarships, who somehow are connected to Rotary and they really value it. And it's also a great way just to run into friends that you never really see that often. So
Beer is free.
and well, the testing is free, right? For testing for quality control. That's right. So there was lots of testing, lots of quality control. Anyways, it was a great time and I appreciate everybody. So thank you.
Tom, thank you so very much for organizing that. One of the ways that we can make a difference in Oakland is being active and visible in the community. Small steps add up to make a big difference. And in this instance, we were out supporting the local merchants and making a difference. So anyhow, I'd like to bring back to the lectern our past president and secretary, Michael Bruck. He has a pumpkin contest he wants to win.
Thank you, Joe. So our Oakland Rotary's celebration of fall is continuing this month on October 23rd. The first annual Guess the Weight of the Pumpkin contest will take place in the California Ballroom. The person whose guess is closest to the correct weight will take home the Rotary pumpkin. I think Joe is, as we speak, selecting a victim. You can use it for your Halloween or Thanksgiving decor as part of your workout or just to impress your neighbors. Next week on the 16th, in the ballroom, you'll be able to view the actual pumpkin and have the opportunity to put your estimating skills to the test. Remember, the 4-way test applies, so no lifting, no shaking, and no AI. Come to Rotary on the 23rd for the Halloween pumpkin contest. Nothing says Rotary service like lugging a huge squash back to your office or your home after the meeting and happy fall. Oh my God.
Thank you, Michael. We'll have that pumpkin here next week so you guys can eyeball it. Yes, so you guys can eyeball it, touch it, feel it, try to figure out what you're going to guess. So Rotary is all about opportunities, for service and fellowship. And all you need to do is to take a chance to exercise the opportunities like our new neighbor Kira did today and our new member Ursula did today. Just say, coach, put me in. It's all about taking that opportunity. Dana Sack is here to present an opportunity I think you might enjoy.
Well, you've all heard about my boat for 30 years. So I'm going to take 6 of you out sailing on Saturday, November 15th. Give me a call.
Dana took our foreign exchange students from Fukuoka, Japan out on a trip. It was a highlight of their visit. He takes you out of the bay. If everything goes well under the Golden Gate Bridge and along Fisherman's Wharf and around the islands. So don't miss it. There's not many seats available, so let Dana know soon. So I want to make just a couple quick announcements. Let's not forget to show up to Service Day. I think that's up on next Thursday, October 16th. This weekend, there's a pickleball tournament the Montclair Club is putting on. We talked about our Halloween bash on October 30th. We have a tree planting event. Will be on November 1st. Joe Parrott will be here next week to tell you a little bit more about that. Just to mark your calendar, we have a Service Day service project. It's their Christmas holiday party at St. Vincent de Paul. That'll be on December 16th. We all, our Fun and Adventure Committee is putting together an outing to the Oakland Ballet Nutcracker. That'll be on December 20th, and you'll hear more about that in time to come. On December 11th, sorry, that's why I had December in mind. On December 11th, lots of Rotary clubs in our district and in the area are gathering to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the signing of the United Nations Charter, of which Rotary was very active in forming. So you can look on the district website. The tickets are limited, but I think that'll be an awesome event. This guy, it's not this guy now, but our current international president will be there. So I hope you can join us. So now is when we normally do bell ringers, but I think we kind of done that. Now I'd like to welcome back up David Stein. David Stein's going to let us know about next week's program. Love that medal.
Thank you, President Joe. Wear it proudly. It's October. Transgender athletes, tariffs, firing public servants, all issues being considered by the United States Supreme Court. Decisions are going to start to come out in the next few weeks. And our speaker next week is Bill Sokol, a longtime attorney, law professor. He also spent 25 years as a talk show host on Pacific Radio and has appeared on NPR as a legal commentator. Come next week and learn about the Roberts Supreme Court.
Another outstanding speaker by our speaker committee, led by David Stein. David, Danny, once you guys get to the back of the room, I guess by the door, so that we can greet our new member as we head out. I want to thank everybody for putting this and help put this meeting together. There was a lot of extra effort, even though we're just one block away. It was a lot of extra effort. Hats off to Jesse. Hats off to our AV team, and much appreciated. And thank you all for finding me here. So I want to leave you with this thought. Hello. Just one more. I want to leave you with this thought. Through Rotary, world peace will come someday, and we will in polio too. Look out, Oakland Rotary's on the line. This meeting is adjourned if I can find it. Out here.